guys, it is day 20 of 3131, and I decided to dip back into my past catalog. I know I've been trying to watch some stuff that's more recent and stuff like that. Not recent, but I guess that I haven't seen. But there are two movies on this list that I put that I have seen, and one was the main reason, because we were going to the Hollywood Horror Nights over there in lovely Hollywood, California. And this one, because it was the very first podcast I ever did for the Terrible Terror podcast, which was TerrorVision. And TerrorVision still is a great, horrible movie. I remember the reason why I picked it for the very first one was I had like a post that I put on my Facebook page, and a bunch of people basically gave me ideas. And this was the one that everybody was like, you need to watch. If you like bad 80s horror, TerrorVision is the way to go. And yes, it is another Charles Band classic, produced. It's got its terrible theme song, which is pretty fantastic. It's got a great fucking practical effect puppet that is fantastic. It's disgusting. It looks great. It's got parents that are swingers, not realizing that one of the guys loves Greek and lives the Greek lifestyle, and they don't know what the fuck that means. And nowadays, you probably wouldn't know what that means either. But back in the day, that was a way for you to say that, oh, hey, I love men. It's fucking hilarious when they find that out. The fact that the parents are swingers still bothers the shit out of me. And they straight up say it to the kids, too. We're going swinging tonight, kids. So you know what that means, And then the grandfather, and, he does have a pretty good plan, to be honest with you. His whole idea of lizard tails, you should eat lizard tails because lizards don't care if they get cut off. They'll just regrow them back again. And you can make a nice jerky out of the lizard tail. There's just so many great things. My favorite scene in this movie has to deal with Uncle Rico, who is in this film, and the monster loves music, the whatever the thing is, and they're all getting down with stuff. It's like, oh no, dude, you don't want to like that stuff. It'll rot your brain, man. And so here, play my cassette. And he puts the cassette in. And the monster can't stand it and blows up the fucking speaker with its giant tentacle arm. Oh my god, it's so fucking fantastic. I love this movie so much. And I'm glad that this podcast actually brought me to this movie. And it's such a wonderful little thing to revisit. I just, I can't just keep watching all these random horror movies. And there's a lot of, I think, pretty good ones left on the list. And there's a couple that it's been a while or I've never talked about before. And there's one especially, which I think there's a couple of these, that could easily be full podcast episodes. But I just, it's a lot. There's a lot of movies. There's still a lot of movies to go. When you think about these things and you talk about these films, there are just a ton of movies, that are worth a watch and worth talking about in this podcast. But so this is day 20. If you haven't gotten the chance yet, there is a new episode of the podcast. It's available, and it is on Evil Dead 2. So I'd like you guys to check that out if you can. But nonetheless, TerrorVision gets a 4 out of 5 Uncle Rico demos. It's just a fun movie. It's really dumb. Really dumb. I should say this. I did actually get to meet the cast. And the one that played the daughter, I believe her name is Diana. I can't remember her last name off the top of my head. Met her at Sinister CreatureCon up in Sacramento shortly after I actually did this episode. They were having it, and we were like, let's fucking go. So we went, and it was really cool. And we actually got to watch the panel, talk about the movie. The lady that played the mom had some really good stories. The guy that made the creature had some really good stories about the creature effects and how they kept everything together. Because again, this was during the time where they're filming a lot of this stuff in Italy. just to save on costs and everything like that. So all these actors and actresses get a nice little trip to Italy, and this was something that the sets are all built in house. It's primarily just filmed in one location, very cheap. But he was talking about how much of a pain in the ass the monster was to deal with, um, but how great it was to work on a film like this and how much fun it was. So it's the same thing, with the rest of the cast. And I wish that this podcast was a little more established because the one that did play the daughter, she said, "Hey, get in contact with me, and I can come on your podcast and we can talk and you can interview me." And I was just not sure, and maybe I still have her contact info. Maybe I should reach back out and maybe actually do an interview, kind of like with the anniversary of the show or something, maybe for next year. We'll see. But yeah, so TerrorVision. Make sure that if you haven't seen this at the time of I'm recording this, it's available on Amazon Prime right now. And you should watch it because it took me a lot to find this film the very first time I did it for the podcast. So the audio sounds terrible. And I wish that I could redo it now with Amazon Prime having it available readily. So we'll see you tomorrow for another one of these 20 or 31 and 31 nights of horror, 20 and 31. This is day 20. 31 nights of horror. So catch you later. Bye.